on the DL, where I'm D.
And I'm L.
And today, Happy New Year!
Oh, we're filming this live.
Whoa! This is not a pre-recorded event.
Should have had something to throw up.
That's what I said, like those little... I should have brought one by surprise.
Well, here we are, 2024.
Yeah, well, we're in 2023, but it's 2024 when this goes up, I think. I should probably quickly check the calendar so I don't...
If it's not, it probably will be by the time you see it.
Yes.
But I don't think anyone will be watching it on New Year's Day.
No, busy. Busy time of the year, that is.
Yes.
What about, speaking of that time of the year, when it comes around to it, are you like a big night out kind of gal or a cozy night in kind of guy?
I enjoy a good night out. Not to go like crazy. I think it can be again a lot of pressure with having to do the greatest thing on earth on New Year's Eve when it's obviously everyone is trying to do something, so it ends up being a really busy night. But just having a good night with friends and having a few drinks and
so like not a massive night out, but just around some good people, good company.
And just like being able to
celebrate the year off in style.
I can't recall having a real nothing night, at least not recently. Ever since being 18 at least, it's always been out somewhere doing something. So last year was a really good one. I was on a cruise ship. And I recommend this to everyone. Get on a cruise ship for New Year's Eve because it's literally a party boat with like 2,000 people. It was so good on the top deck for the countdown. Everyone was up there and it just went bananas. I reckon it was one of my favourite New Year's. So, recommendation.
Sweet. Cruise for New Year's. Put it on your bucket list. Put it on your 2024 resolutions. Luke will see you there.
It's just very hard to get drinks on that because they didn't have... I feel like they didn't have all the bars open at the time. Like in the between 10 to like 11:30. I feel like they were trying to stop people from drinking or something. But because you're on drink packages and stuff like that, they're already paid for, so they're not really making any money off you.
No.
It felt like I got a drink at like 11 something, and then it was like I'm gonna struggle to get another one because the line you just couldn't get to the bar kind of thing. And then you wanted to be like ready to kind of
celebrate it off.
But they would bring like trays of shots around. It was a really good New Year's. So I'll be on a cruise again, but for this year, but on the 2nd, so I will be here for New Year's.
Big one.
But kind of weird because obviously going on the cruise will be a lot of partying and drinking, so I don't really want to go
too hard
crazy, but we'll see. What about you?
So for a while I was working in a role that I guess I was working over the New Year.
But you still are, aren't you?
Not anymore. No, but like as in like the night of. So I used to work that night. So
if you don't mind me asking, what job was that?
We'll talk about it after. We'll talk about it after the pod. But so for a while, I guess I didn't really know any better. But last year I was fortunate enough to be able to celebrate it. It was up at a friend's house on their balcony. Just a few of few people over. Good bevs, good banner. It was really good, to be honest. Kind of missed the fireworks. That's fine. But it was good. I don't want to go out clubbing bloody in the city where it's chock-a block. I like just having that sort of smaller circle, where you can, as we mentioned, to finish off the year in style. I remember a few years ago just at a house, and we must have started drinking like 10, 11 in the morning or something. I missed the New Year's. I was knocked out by, about 11 p.m. And I was devastated because I was just hanging. And then I got woken up. Like everyone was still there and stuff. I got woken up like 12:15, and I'm like, I missed it. And then I was like good again, but I was just like, why didn't I wake me up? Devo.
Don't go too crazy. But like the going into the city and stuff, I mean, it would be really nice. But like just chaos.
That's what I Like, I think it would be really nice aesthetically, but just the chaos of it, I like to finish it off on that little bit wider note.
I don't really care about fireworks stuff. Nah, you see one firework, you've seen them all. You know.
I don't know. That's actually, I've got this on here. Fireworks, overrated or underrated?
Overrated. Big waste of money. Do you not agree?
Producer's always not happy.
No, like for a little bit, but not. They carry on with them, and you would think how much money is spent.
I don't know. It's not my problem to figure out.
Wow.
I just sit back and enjoy them.
Yeah, no, but like I said, like for a minute, 2 minutes, they're fine, but then they carry on for like 20 minutes, don't they?
Nah, not that long.
I don't know, they do fireworks everywhere. They do about the footy now. It's like, come on, we're round 3 against GWS and we've got fireworks. Like,
no disrespect to GWS.
Come on.
We're going to see Cooper Hamilton sitting at the desk giving us an absolute roasting after that one on GWS' social media.
They're not too bad. What's the worst? North Melbourne. At Marvel.
At Marvel.
I don't know, yeah. So they don't do much for me, but they're obviously cool and stuff, but if I miss them, I don't really care, kind of thing.
No, I get what you mean by sort of the oversaturatedness of them. I don't even know if that's a word.
Yeah, like
Oxford Dictionary, let us know.
Yeah, if we didn't really see much of them during the year, and they were really just like, all right, this is the time.
Real special events sort of thing.
But yeah, now like they're just everywhere now, so it's like no different. Obviously, I think Sydney or New South Wales does them really well with the Harbour Bridge.
Yeah.
Much better than Melbourne. So they're always cool to see. And I'd like to be there for one time. I did used to live in New South Wales, but I don't think we ever went into the city.
Too much chaos, probably.
Yeah, we were all kids and stuff.
Yeah.
But, maybe one day we'll go there.
You don't know.
Yeah. Still got good mates there, so maybe one year I'll go there for New Year's and have a 10-day bender. Miss it.
Oh, I don't know. Fireworks, as I said, it's just like, it's the timing of them. I think, as you said, like they're sort of everywhere these days, but when they're at the right time, they're really, really nice. Especially, I find them now these days because I find them so like synonymous with New Year's. Every time I see fireworks that are like, you genuinely sitting there and watching them, it's like I sit there and get very like emotional and reflective. I don't know if you're the same. Like I just sit there and I get very deep in thought while I'm watching them, and I get myself really worked up. And I think it just comes with sort of like the vibes that the New Year brings.
You got to take care of him.
It just comes with like the vibes that the New Year's bring.
What's the reflections on like the year, everything?
Yeah, just everything, and I just get very deep within myself and very, spiritualistic. Yeah,
regrets.
Yeah, all of them, mate.
Do you have any regrets? To throw you on the spot, we always talk about good things. What about something you regret
from this year?
Yeah.
Oh, you have really.
Doesn't have to be a serious thing.
Yeah.
It can be like a silly thing. I don't actually have to think of one.
I think I've regretted probably a couple of times not taking risks where, the outcomes would be really good. Obviously I've done a lot of sort of self-development and stuff this year. I've been reading a lot and everything, and I've been learning a lot about calculated risks. Especially a lot of people that get somewhere, they take a lot of calculated risks and stuff. It's not just risking for the sake of it. But I think that, a lot of times I was very sheltered and like scared to, take on certain risks, whether it's, physically,
like this podcast.
Like this podcast. I'm telling you, at the start of the year, this wouldn't have been a thing. Like, honestly, because I just would have been like, oh, I don't know. But, regardless if we have 5 viewers or 5 million viewers, I enjoy doing it with you, my friend.
No, that's good. And it's funny, like a lot of people, whether they're just like not like hanging shit or anything, but they'd be like, oh, like, and they're generally like, how's the podcast?
Yeah.
Like, they're actually not envious, but like, that's the cool thing.
Yeah.
Like, because I was with doing Pious Nation, I was never like thinking, fuck, yeah, that's swear.
Yeah. I think we are multiple times.
I'm really, really comfortable with how I present myself and everything on there now.
Yeah.
But it took a while. But the first couple of years, I'm like, oh, I sound terrible. This is embarrassing to listen to. Like, and yeah, it took a while for me to go, no, actually, I'm doing a good job. And it was something that was 5 years ago that I remember doing the first few episodes. I'm like, I would never have thought I'd be speaking on a podcast. I think I speak fairly well, but I was like never good enough to do a podcast.
And it's weird because like obviously at the end of the day, you know, we have people that are watching and everything, but they're not physically there. Like you're speaking to a camera basically, but like
literally a phone camera.
Yes, literally a phone camera. But like
not even a real one.
How it brings you out of your shell is kind of insane, like considering that you're just sitting here doing this. I don't know if you get the same feeling as that. Like obviously you had previous experience with Pies Nation and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, the most, I guess, awkward thing about this one is it's just literally here at a table and a phone camera. That the different, like with the Pies Nation stuff, it was like
intimidating
in a full-on studio with a microphone and headphones, and that was just like, I was like, I can go and talk Collingwood at a pub with anyone, but once you got a microphone in front of you, you're like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm talking about. What am I stuttering on this word for? And then this year we brought the video side aspect of it out, and it was like, oh my god, now I'm on video. I got to think about how I look and where
I'm looking at,
like hand signals, and because we do a lot of that in previous years was we'd signal to each other because there's no cameras. Whereas we kind of had to learn not to do that.
You can't be like speak up.
And I felt like we all handled that really well. But again, that was just another thing that I had to pick up on. And I guess in terms of taking risks, it's been a good... That whole thing, when people ask what's one of your best things you've done, I always bring that up. It's something I never thought I'd do, and I'm pretty proud that it's still going. So hopefully this can have some similar
and I
success.
think...
But it's in the end of the day, it's just... we're here doing it and having a good time.
We're just, as you know, we're not professionals. We never claim to be professionals. I don't think we'll ever be professional at what we do, to be honest. But, you know, we're just here having a bit of fun. And I think it provides a different perspective on podcasts compared to, I guess, your Pies Nation one as well. You know, obviously the flashing lights, a big sort of professionalism that comes with not representing the club, but representing the club in the way that you do. If that makes sense. So I think this, you know, brings a lot more laid back sort of vibes here that, you know, can help bring, you know, hopefully you as well, but myself out of the shell, you know, take more risks, be a bit more extroverted, I should say, be a bit more out there and actually...
But it's okay to be introverted.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with being introverted at all, but just, I guess, for myself, it's something that I wanted to work on more. Everyone knows that I can talk, but when I get into sort of bigger situations, I can freeze up a lot. So
I feel you. I know what you're talking about. So we're doing it together.
Yes, exactly. On the DL, mate. Speaking of on the DL, we like to regularly do this movie or show of the week. Would you like to hit us up with one of those, Luke?
Well, I'll tell you who movie of the week is a big talking point is the Kang Dynasty in the Marvel MCU side of things.
I'm not a massive Marvel man, so Luke will have to fill us in on this.
I think it was called... It's now been retitled Avengers 5, apparently. So the next Avengers installment, and they've laid out a plan a while back of the next few years and all the movies that were supposed to be coming out and everything. And so Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, I think it was called, was one of them. And obviously certain movies and shows in the MCU have been building up to the Kang Dynasty. And the character Kang the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors, well, he's most likely off to jail, so...
allegedly. We use the word allegedly on this podcast.
No, he's being charged. He'll face court or a trial date or whatever, however it all works, early into the new year. But he was fired from Marvel.
So, has he been, obviously I don't keep up to date with it, is he in some of the stuff that's already out? Is that... Yeah, so he's been in the Loki TV show, both seasons, pretty prominent figure, and if you've watched that show, you'd be like, he's, fantastic, cannot wait to see him move across. Well, he was in Ant-Man, the newest Ant-Man movie, I forget exactly what it was called, Quantumania or something. He was very good in that as well, but also felt like the writing of the movie kind of let him down.
but yeah, but essentially like the build up to the next big bad in the MCU, and now it's kind of, I don't know what they're going to do. If they're going to recast, or I don't know if they can, because he I don't know, he played the character so well.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. It's not just like, I know Marvel is such a thing within itself, but it's not as simple as recasting.
They can, but he's also not just like that seventh character over there that you're not really. They have recasted in the past, but only like not minor characters, but not the biggest bad character that's come about. So yeah, they'll either recast or they might divert into another storyline. I guess we touched on it before, but casual audiences might not even know anyway, because it's been a bit all over the shop, Marvel, with their movies not getting as good reviews as they were in previous years, and a lot of TV shows coming out, people just not really keeping up with it as much. So
I feel like it's a very big time commitment to sort of...
they've oversaturated the market and killed themselves in the process, and yeah, they've got some big decisions to make, but that's the movie of the week that I haven't seen. That
it's not a movie, but it's going to affect probably a big part of 2024 as well, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know what their plans were for next year's movies releases, but anyway, that's happened. But they do have What If coming out on Friday. By the time you see this, it'll be a few episodes done. But What If is a really cool animated show that Marvel does, and it's essentially what if
certain things happen within the...
And they're just like cool little episodes of scenarios.
Sort of like spin-offs.
Yeah, like scenarios of what if, I can't even think of...
Thanos didn't...
Yeah, like just stuff that we're never probably going to really see in live action, but what if this happened? What if this happened? So I'm excited to see that. Haven't really watched anything new recently or anything, but what about you? Anything on... What was the other song of the week we were doing still? Or?
Oh, yeah, you've got the new Yellow Wolf drop. Obviously, we touched on it a very little bit in last week's episode, but Eminem dropping with Juice WRLD.
Yeah. Pour Out My Drink for the homies, so with DJ Paul, Yellow Wolf, and Davis. So that's a nice song, and I do love my Yellow Wolf. So it's nice to hear him back as well. Also, Baz, I think it's Baz.
Dropped his album
with some J. Cole features. So sorry, Baz, but I'm not a big Baz listener, but I do listen to J. Cole, and I got those songs down. Home Alone is really good. Speaking of the last episode,
movie, yes.
Home Alone. I think that's pretty much it for the songs of the week. We touched on those others. Stop giving me advice and all that.
That was a couple episodes ago now. You got to keep up with the times, mate.
Now they're still in my heavy rotation, so I can't remember if we ever touched on them or...
No, fair. They are very good songs. But before we depart today, sadly, I'm going to leave you with one more question. Boxing Day sales, bargain or scam?
Scam. All these sales are scams.
Would you care to elaborate?
Did you have... I felt like you reacted to that. No, all the sales are scams. Once you work in, I guess I work kind of in sales now, in gym sales.
Yes.
The amount of sales we do, it's just like, if they don't get this one, they're just going to get the next one anyway. It's like, and no, they're all as equal as each other really, and a lot of it is on false, I guess, pretenses in that it's not as good as it's made out to be. I guess with Boxing Day sales, it's a lot of they put the price up and then it's brought back down and it's 50% off or 80% off when it's not really. It's probably about 10% off.
It's all their clearance stuff too.
We just went like Black Friday and then that goes for like a month for some reason now, and then Cyber Monday's another 3 weeks, and then it's December, and then it's all the Christmas sales, and then you get through that, and then it's bang, Boxing Day sales, and then it's New Year's sales.
Yeah.
It just never ends. So if you don't get it this sale, you'll get it the next sale. What about you? Did you have thoughts?
Yeah, look, don't get me wrong. I've definitely indulged in a nice Boxing Day sale or two within my time on this world, but it's a bit like that, isn't it?
It did used to be really cool. I think I remember. I think especially if you got like a good sum of money on Christmas Day as a kid, or like for your teens and that. I just remember, let's go decide to go, and like being a bit of a gamer, it was like, oh my god, yes, like going and buying 5 games. That have been like full price for a while, and then bang, you're getting them for half price on that day. But still does happen, but I just don't think it's as good as it used to be. And or maybe I was just an idiot and naive and thought, wow, I'm so getting a deal here.
As I said too, it feels like it's a little bit of like stock clearance as well. It's like they really stock up for Christmas, and then it's like, oh no, we need to get rid of all this stock so we can get ready for all the stuff that's coming in the new year.
Do you see all the PlayStation sales, like the on PlayStation?
No.
Like the online ones?
No. I haven't seen them.
Like for games?
I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
Oh my god! Like they'll be like, 80% off, and it's a game that is actually like $30.
Yeah.
Down at JB Hi-Fi, and they're still selling it for like $70, and it's come down from $150.
Yeah.
And their marketing on there is like 80% off or whatever, and it's just like, but people will just do and buy it because they see, oh my god, I'm
sale. I can get this, yeah.
Or they just don't have a physical console; they have to buy digital, so they get
unlucky.
That way. Anyway,
well, that's all we have time for today. From both of us on the DL, I'm sure we say we wish you a happy new year full of love, joy, excitement, all the good things, hitting your targets, hitting your goals, and, starting 2024, you're going to take your steps and get to a really good spot by the end of 2024. Luke's going to be doing his first weightlifting event.
No, never.
We're actually both running our first half marathon, so, we've got our own personal goals here on the DL, so...
I might have done it before the new year.
Oh, secret here. But that's the scoop from us. Let us know what you're planning on doing in the year 2024, and have a good morning, night, evening, new year, whenever you're watching this, and we'll see you on the next episode.